What's going on, everyone? Glad to be back with you with another episode of GW Recap. I'm your host, Cardell Dudley Jr. And wish I had more positive news, but unfortunately, I don't. The Revolutionaries fell to Richmond at home, 90-74, which is GW's eighth straight loss. It's been a steady downward spiral as of late for George Washington. But before I get into what happened in the game, the details, who stood out, overall game analysis, check over my sponsors, my good folks at Oohs and Ahs, who have some good news about their new location that's opening in Alexandria. Some new details. I'm gonna let it run a couple times so you all that tune in, you get it, you understand what's going on. It's a new way to uh, order your food from the best soul food spot in the DMV and from Oohs and Ahs. So here you go, check it out.
Location is a cloud kitchen. We can't wait to open soon. Hey family, you asked and we answered. Our new Alexandria, Virginia location is a cloud kitchen. We can't wait to open soon. Hey family, you asked and we answered. Our new Alexandria, Virginia location is a cloud kitchen. We can't wait to open soon.
So as you can see, they have a new cloud kitchen. You'll be able to walk in, order your food. They'll assign you a locker where they slide you your order. You go on about your business. Uh, new new invention for restaurants that you will be probably seeing popping up slowly but surely, especially in this area. So keep in mind, there's just who's and all staying ahead of the game, man. But back to GW and Richmond. Oh man, what can I say? It's just it's just a continuation of what we've been seeing in the last seven losses, unfortunately, where GW they can't stop teams. Interesting stat that I want to throw out there that I'm not sure a lot of people are aware of. Their last win was against George Mason at home, mid-January. With that being said, at that point they had only surrendered 80 plus points six times. At that point, where they were 14-3, they had a 3-3 record. Six times 3-3 record. But it goes to show you that when they give up that many points, things don't go where they're basically a 500 ball club. Since that win against George Mason, coming into this game, they've suffered seven straight losses. In all seven straight losses, they've given up 80 or more points. In this loss tonight, their eighth straight loss, as you can see, they've given up 90 points, 80 or more points. That's the deal. When GW, when their defense isn't up to par, it's very tough on them. It's tough on them, and it affects their offense. You can just see it. They press. They're not playing with as much freedom. Some guys tighten up more, and it just leads to a lot of chaos, man. A lot of confusion, a lot of it's just a trickle down effect with just poor decision making, bad shot selection, breakdowns defensively. It's just a trickle down effect. Even in today's game against Richmond, they allowed 52 points in the first half. Richmond shot 76% from the field, 23 of 30, and 4 of 7 from deep, 57%. You can't allow that. And they only scored 37 themselves. You put yourself in a big hole, and the team, if you allow them to shoot with that, damn, they're making 8 out of 10 shots. Their confidence is through the roof, the entire team. That's a blaze that's hard to put out in the second half. Now, credit to GW, they actually came out in the second half looking to do that, but the damage was done. Richmond had such a big lead. They would literally have to implode from within for GW to get back in the game and take the game. But with that being said, they jumped on them, had an eight, jumped on Richmond. Started the second half on an 8-4 run. It looked like they had momentum, but then, as usual, Richmond found a way. That's why they're one of the better teams in the A10 and have a chance to win it all, especially come, A10 championship time. We'll be here in a few weeks. Man, time is flying. But they regrouped. They didn't shoot as well in the second half, obviously, but they still outscored GW 38-37, despite shooting 38% from the field. They made up. They got to the line, shot 81%. You know what I mean? And they limited GW's trips to the line. GW only got to the line in the second half. Got 6 free throw attempts and made 3. And that was all she wrote, man. Richmond outscored GW in the paint 42-30. Obviously, had that advantage inside with their size. I'm gonna get into their centers and stuff like that who shine. You know what I mean? They won the battle on the boards 37-33, including having their edge defensive rebounding 31-23. Richmond also out-assisted GW 21-10. Points off turnovers, Richmond 13, GW 5. They were just they put on a clinic in various phases of the game, man. They've always long time, especially on Mooney, been one of the better defensive teams in the conference consistently. It's always been kind of them and VCU at the top for the most part since I've been covering GW, which goes back a decade. But with that being said, that standard continues regardless of who's in uniform, man. And then that's a testament to the coaching staff and the culture of this program. I feel like GW had. I really wish I knew where to start with those guys. They're too talented to be in the hole that they're in with 8 straight losses. They're not flying around like they did early in the season, defensively. The shots are not falling the same either. Injuries has been creeping up. Darren Buchanan missed the game tonight. Johnson didn't play. Johnson didn't play, which is huge. They need all hands on deck. Max Edwards, kind of second, third straight game where he's had his rhythm scoring the ball, which is a good sign. James Bishop, they making him work. Like, he played 40 minutes now. He literally didn't leave the floor, which is a tough go. Play that many minutes, man, but they needed it. Without him on the floor, the game could have been over a lot earlier. You know what I mean? Jacoy Hutchinson, I felt, stepped up for the Revolutionaries. My apologies. With 15 points, 5 of 9 from the field, 3 of 3 from deep. A couple of them he hit late when they was trying to make a surge and make a comeback. With 4 rebounds in 33 minutes. Darren Buchanan's first game back, from injury. He was off rhythm. 7 points, 3 of 9, 7 rebounds. He wasn't his usual explosive self, but that's to be expected considering what he was battling. Akinbola had 9 rebounds to team high, but he really isn't the offensive presence that Richmond has, and it showed it today. You know what I mean? Outside of that, Antoine Smith Jr. added 6 points and 5 rebounds, but outside of that, not much production, man. Not much production at all. Whereas on Richmond's side of things, Jordan King, who's probably well on his way to being a A10 first team selection, finished with game high, 24 points, 7 of 13 from the field, 2 of 4 from deep, 8 of 8 from the line, 3 rebounds, 2 steals in 33 minutes. Neil Quinn, that 7-foot center inside, man, he was dominant. 19 points, 7 assists. What I just say? 7 assists. 7 assists. 5 rebounds and 3 blocks. Got it done on both ends, man. Making the right reads, scoring inside, finding open shooters, finding open cutters, outlet passes. Did it all. And he clogged the paint. 3 rebounds. I mean, 3 blocks. He clogged the paint. He was a presence inside, and anyone that got loose and challenged him, he either altered it or got the block. He was huge for them, and he set the tone right away. I think he had 12 points early in the game. He set the tone for Richmond right away to go right at Akimbola, keep him on his heels, and then the floodgates open. G. Bailey, 16 points, 8 to 12 from the field, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. I really like this kid. 6'5" guard, super athletic, had a couple vicious dunks. Vicious dunks that I'm sure you will see on highlights all over. Excellent defender. Guard multiple positions well. Smart, savvy. Obviously has the athleticism. He has NBA athleticism. And he used it. You know what I mean? Slashed his way to the basket, scored efficiently. Helped out in many ways with the rebounding, and he second on the team in assists as well, man. So he was on his game tremendously tonight. It was just you know what I mean. It was just fun watching him, not necessarily dominate, but make an impact on offense, but also make James Bishop work. He was assigned to James Bishop for most of the game, and I think at one point he had James Bishop at the halftime shooting 3 of 11 from the field. When you kind of make the other team's top leading scorer, the last season's A10 leading scorer struggle that much, it's gonna be hard for the Revolutionaries to recover, especially with the youth that they have. Isaiah Bigelow, I feel, was huge, especially late in the game. He had some tough buckets late when GW was within striking range. They had cut it to 9. I mean, 8. Then when he cut it that and the 8 late, he had a fadeaway and then hit another jumper, and GW never recovered. He finished with 12 points, but a team high, tied for game high, 9 rebounds, and also added 4 assists. The common theme you noticing is for Richmond, guys scored efficiently, they rebounded, they defended, of course, and they found open players. They made other players better. They didn't force anything. They played within the flow. If I got my shot, I'm taking it. If I don't, I'm gonna find somebody else who has a better shot. Just simple basketball, man. They didn't complicate things at all, man, and they just capitalized off of the mistakes that the Revolutionaries had, man, all game, and that's why you see the result that came with it, man. Even when GW had their runs and stuff, it didn't feel like they had momentum. It just seemed like they're delaying the inevitable. You know what I mean? And that's disheartening when you fighting your butt off and you look at the scoreboard and it's within reach, but you don't feel it's within reach. You know what I mean? And that's basically, what happened all game. Look, I could go on and on, man. GW got to do something, man, because it's just the free fall is just very, very alarming. Look, you can expect like a 3-game slide, a 4-game slide. Hell, Richmond was coming in off a 2-game slide, but not an 8-game slide. You can't have an 8-game slide and be taken serious as a team that could possibly turn it on and make a push in an A10 championship. Now, anything is possible. Maybe they get healthy, get hot, and get on the street, but odds are the morale, especially with how young they are, they never, like more than half the team haven't even been there. Even with the transfers, they never played in that environment before. It's going to be a tough sell and a tough goal for anybody to feel like they can make a lot of noise when that time comes. But like I said, anything is possible, man. And as long as they wear a uniform, it's up to them to change things. They hold their fate in their hand. It's all on what they do. You know what I mean? And at this point, it's just about pride. It's just about pride. Like, what are y'all going to do? How y'all going to answer this challenge? Are y'all going to go in to the tournament? I mean, they have, 6 games left. You can go in the tournament on a 14-game losing streak. You just haven't lost 14 straight games. Come on now. Like, that can happen. They have to regroup because it doesn't get easier. They have some tough games coming up. They got a tough St. Joe's team this upcoming Wednesday at 7 p.m. After that, on the road. After that, they go to St. Louis on next Saturday. Play them at 3 o'clock. Then they return home Tuesday, February 27th. Take on UMass, who just defeated them. Then we get to March. They start that contest. They start that month on the 2nd. They play at LaSalle, who has their own struggles. But with the struggles GW having, they can't look down on any opponent. After that, second to last game of the regular season, they host St. Bonaventure. St. Bonaventure, 16-9. March 6th at 7 p.m. Then they close out the regular season against Duquesne, who's 15-10, March 9th at 2 p.m. So it doesn't get easier. They have to get themselves up out of this, man. And I haven't seen a team since I've been covering the GW. I haven't seen a team have. Well, it was one tough year under Jamie and Christian, but they started off the season rocky. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like how it is this year, where they were 14-3 pretty much a month ago. Now they're 14-10. And 14-11, and looking up at the standings, they're at the bottom, damn near at the bottom of the A10 standings in a month. It's just, like I said, the word I keep using is alarming, because that's just how it is, man. But look, if they had the talent to become 14-3 a month ago, they have the talent to get themselves out of it. It's just about looking in the mirror and doing whatever it takes to win at this point. That's all that matters. You win 2-0, fine. It's a win. You change things. They have to figure it out. And it starts on the defensive end. Again, they are 3-11 when they allow 80-plus points. Trying to keep teams below that will most definitely help their cause as far as getting back on track winning, man. So with that being said, I'm your host, Cardell Dudley. Thank you for joining me, GW Recap. See you guys soon, man. Hopefully I'll be back with some more positive news about your George Washington Revolutionaries. Take care.